So you're looking to make the tadpole? Well, this is the ultimate guide for you. First thing to mention is timestamps are listed below to help you skip ahead or to go to the parts you most desire. Alright, so in order to build the tadpole, you'll need to find or scan the following blueprints. First is a habitat builder, next a processor, then a basic room, the Moonpool, and of course, the tadpole itself. In this guide, we'll go over it all. Where to find each of the fragments, where to locate each of the ingredients, and the ores in order to craft everything. Alright, let's begin. The first items you'll need to craft are the scanner and the multi-tool, which you'll already have unlocked. For those, you'll need the following: titanium, quartz, and a basic battery. To find titanium, well, it's the easiest ore to find in the game, and the most plentiful. It looks like this. Alright, once you have enough titanium, it's time to make the multi-tool. Time to get to work. Next is copper and acidic Raion pouch. You can find both in the cave right underneath your life pod. Here we have copper. Nice oxygen bubble. For the acidic Raion pouch, you'll need your multi-tool. Next is quartz, which can be found in coral domes in the starting biome. Alright, it's time to make the scanner. But in order to make the scanner, we need a battery. So let's make this. Now that we got our battery, now we can make our scanner. It's scanning time. Now, we are finally ready to get a habitat builder. Right from your starting life pod, head south-southeast towards the Welcome Center. And here, right outside, you'll find your first fragment. Now from this point, head east, and you'll find your second fragment. To make a habitat builder, you need the following: 2 titanium, 1 glass, 1 basic battery, and 1 copper wire. To make glass, you'll need quartz, and to make copper wire, you'll need copper. It's building time. And here's a couple of the blueprints that you start out with. If you haven't already, I highly suggest making a standard air tank, basic fins, and an air bladder to help you get around more easily and more safely. In order to make these items, you'll need fiber and rubber. To get fiber, you'll need to find fibrous pulp. You can hit curtain gorgons with your multi-tool to get some. To get rubber, you'll need to find Lucifer rotsack. Look for these yellow bulbs. Also very easy to see at night. And here we are quickly crafting the fiber and rubber, as well as making fins. And of course our handy dandy air bladder. Now for silver, this one is a bit more tricky. Head north from your life pod and look for a trench with a current going through it. You'll be able to find silver deep in this trench. As you can see, there's quite a few silver nodes down here. We barely make it back up alive. Next up is to get a basic room blueprint. Head north from your life pod till you reach the old habitat. Now we have to navigate through this base till the end to get our blueprint. Now I highly recommend taking your time exploring this old habitat. There are lots of little goodies scattered around inside. And you can use the little pockets of oxygen, the one we just came out of, and 2 more inside to help you from drowning. Alright, up this ladder. You can hear these beeps, which signal blueprints. And right to our right is our room recipe. For a quick exit, just press this button. Good to go. If you want a bit more speed while you're getting these fragments, the Wakemaker can help you with that. Head to Camp 1 northeast of your life pod for 2 out of 3 fragments. Here's our first fragment. And our second fragment lies inside. First you have to press this button. Always want to press the big red shiny buttons. And head down through here. Here's a scanner station, very useful. And our second fragment for the Wakemaker. For our third and final fragment to make the Wakemaker, we're going to head south from Camp 1. And we're looking for about a medium-sized cave. Inside, right here is our third and final fragment. Now for the Moonpool. It's south from the life pod to the wreck. This is a deep dive at 92 meters. If you still haven't already, consider making a standard air tank, basic fins, the Wakemaker, and an air bladder, just in case of drowning. And follow my route. I'm gonna get this Moonpool recipe right inside. Here is the Moonpool recipe. Alright, we are about halfway there to making the tadpole. So finally, we've made it to the tadpole part. Now, to make a tadpole, we'll be needing 3 fragments. So let's get to it. Our first fragment is around 88 meters deep, south from your life pod. It's not too far away. And on your first scan, you'll unlock the power cell. Onward towards the last 2 fragments. Head northeast from your life pod to this wreck, about 50 meters deep. Alright, here we are. Now we're going to be going underneath to find this small opening. And right at the back is our second Tadpole Fragment. And another room recipe if you still need one.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Our third and final fragment is directly northwest of this wreck, guarded by a dreaded marrow breach. Be wary. Pretty close by. And voila! Those are your 3 Tadpole Fragments. And here's that dreaded marrow breach. Ever watching.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Now, if for any reason you need a 4th fragment, it can be located quite a bit deeper, around 125 meters deep south from the life pod. Look for the great jaws. And here's our 4th fragment. In case something happened to the other 2, or 3, for some unknown reason. Now, if you're having trouble getting to this one, there is oxygen tunics nearby, which will provide you little bubbles of oxygen. So this isn't too hard of one to get to. Finally, we are ready to build the Tadpole. What you're going to need to do is build a decent sized room, then build a Moonpool inside, and then we're going to have to build a Tadpole dock and a vehicle fabricator. You're going to need quite a bit of titanium for this, so I recommend doing a little bit of farming to build up your reserves. So in order to make these, we're also going to need titanium ingots and copper ingots. For this, you'll need a processor. If you haven't scanned the processor yet, it can be found in the old habitat. Up this ladder, right up out here. And there's always a backup processor as well. Oh, and a sonic resonator piece. Since I didn't show it earlier, when you scan the Tadpole for the first time, you'll unlock the power cell. When you scan it for the 3rd time, you'll unlock the Tadpole dock and the vehicle fabricator. Also, here's an example of why the air bladder can be so useful. And fun. Now, for your base, do be mindful about your power consumption. Plenty of solar panels or hydroelectric turbines will help, especially at night, when your solar panels will be barely working. A power storage can also help you as well, supplying you with power all throughout your night. Now for the final part, constructing your very own Tadpole. You'll need a power cell and a system chip. The system chip is easy enough to make, only requiring a wiring kit made of silver and quartz. But the power cell will be a little bit more challenging. For the power cell, you'll need 2 basic batteries, strong acid, and salt. Let's start with strong acid. To make strong acid, you'll need Necrolei Cysts, which will be placed into a processor. A nice little feature they added is if you have an ingredient in a locker near the fabricator or processor, it will automatically detect it. To find Necrolei Cysts, go northwest from your life pod, past this current, to the purple coral biome, and smack the ever-living out of these still or pieces of Merry Christmas. Holy Sorry, I meant to say gently smack the out of the top of these still orbs with your multi-tool. In context, this took me a long time to find, so give him a good smack for me. Now there are more still orbs to find and more cysts you can find as well in this biome, and I highly suggest taking as much as you want. I'm pretty sure they do all grow back though, so. Lastly is to find salt. Head southeast from your life pod, past the Welcome Center. Right past this oxygen tunic. To find our salt. We have even more salt up ahead and scattered around here. More salt can be found to the much warmer biome to the east of us. To break apart the bigger nodes, or ores or minerals, you'll need a sonic resonator. And that's it. You finally have your very own tadpole. Have fun. Although, we aren't done yet.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
You can also add a chassis to your tadpole to make it faster. Or add a chassis to hold more cargo and a place for your passengers to sit. The first upgrade is much easier to acquire than the second upgrade. Both are in spoiler territory, so be warned. If you're happy with what you have right now, or the knowledge you have right now, get on out there and keep exploring, fellow adventurer. If you want the upgrades, well, stick around. Be warned, spoilers ahead. I'm going to keep them minor spoilers, but it's going to show off biomes that you may want to explore by yourself for the first time. For the first chassis upgrade, which is the Scout Ray, you'll need to progress in the story up until you get your second adaptation, giving you the ability to endure the heat of the next biome. To do this, you're going to need a sonic resonator and look around for an infection of a kind to be as subtle as possible. Now, we'll make our way to the Tadpole Pens. From your life pod, head east. Past the massive volcano coral thingy. This is a scientific term, of that I can assure you. Keep to the left of it. Now we're going to start heading down, deeper. It's about 150 meters deep. Keep heading east. And we have arrived. And inside the pens is the Scout Ray Chassis. Scout Ray Chassis will give you quite a boost in your speed, so definitely one to make if you like zooming around like me. There are also other goodies here, such as another Moonpool upgrade, so be on the lookout. Next is the Tadpole Hull Chassis. This has 3 fragments. From the Tadpole Pens, head east and enjoy the view. Head past this alien tower and definitely make sure to check out this research outpost later or right now, as it is very helpful. I would highly suggest building a base here as well, somewhere in this area. The research outpost has a few good upgrades, such as a high-capacity air tank, a rebreather, the engine efficiency upgrade, and a working fabricator. Next is the strike armor upgrade. It's south-southwest from the research outpost. This will allow your tadpole to take a good and proper beating. Next, from the research outpost, head south. Around 285 meters deep. I'll get out here since the tadpole can't go beyond 250 meters deep without the first depth module upgrade. And here is the down tadpole with the Tadpole Depth Module Mark 1. And our first hull fragment. Not too far away from this wreck, south, we have improved fins and another rebreather. Let's head back out. Side note, I highly recommend waiting till morning to explore this area properly. It gets confusing to navigate at night. Some of these vast structures can start looking similar, and you don't want to get lost. From the research outpost, head east-southeast. Past this massive alien plant. Until you reach this wreck at 215 meters deep. Here is our second fragment. Nice. And our third and final fragment is just to the northeast of this wreck. An arrow shot, and you're there. Now, to make this chassis, you'll need strontium, which requires Celestine, as well as enameled glass, which requires creature enamel. Both of these can be found near the research outpost. They both have very distinctive looks, so once you know what they look like, you'll never miss them. to make these tadpole upgrades, you will need a modification station as well, so be sure to make one. Last thing to mention is there are several more upgrades for the tadpole, so keep exploring and find them. The ones I listed here are the best thus far, at least in my opinion. And that's it. I hope you enjoy this guide. I hope this guide has helped you, or will be able to help you. And honestly, best of luck on your journey in Subnautica 2. Thank you for watching.